welcome back everybody. So today is a very special day, and what I mean by that is today we are going to be taking the TBR7 with the ported polished head from Lansdowne Family Racing and the Divvy, and we're going to be strapping this thing down on the dyno. Now, I could not find anywhere where any of these Chinese dual sports are on the dyno. So I think this will be the first one on YouTube. So please share the video. This will give everyone an idea of what these bikes make with these mods. And I hope you guys enjoy. So you guys want to let me know how you like this style of video. It's going to be, this is more of a, I'm trying to do a vlog style while also getting into the dyno, because I know for a fact that, you know, it's going to be a couple dyno pulls and the results, so it's not going to take all that long. I want to fill a little extra content in for you guys. I always like putting as much helpful information as possible in these videos. So I want to talk about what I did last night in prep for the dyno. Now, I noticed my chain was a little loose, so I wanted to make sure I readjusted my chain, obviously. And while doing that, I cleaned it as well, because I had it off the bike, and I adjusted the rear shock. The rear shock was getting worn in. It was at the stock height. And when I adjusted it in, a little bit of squeaking went away, a little stiffer, a little more enjoyable. Another thing I noticed when cleaning and lubing the chain, though, was my speed, my top speed went back up. And I dropped down to a 170 main the other day, because I went riding actually in Michaud State Forest with a buddy of mine with a Hawk 250. Didn't film it, really should have. But we actually met up with a guy that had a Beta 390, and oh my god, he just bought it, and that thing was awesome. That thing was super fast. Pretty much almost all stock, except he had a recluse clutch in it, he said. But that thing was quick, let me tell you what. That thing was super quick. You know, he was on knobbies and I'm on 70/30 street tires, so as you can imagine, I was slipping all over the place in spots where it was gravel and dirt, but it was still fun regardless. I'm getting gas. Always got to make sure you get that 93. I'm seeming to have a dilemma where to go get food. Cannot decide. Oh, and another thing, my back left turn signal got water in it. It's had water in it for a little bit now, and the LEDs stopped working, so I'm gonna have to buy some new turn signals. And there's a little bit of the China quality. Oh, and I had to order a new chain guide because my chain guide fell off of alignment, as I'm sure tons of you have witnessed with your own bikes. And it is chewed up. It is almost completely through. The chain's almost worn completely through it. So I had to order a new one, and then we will address the chain guide issue when the new one comes in. Oh, and another thing I wanted to ask you guys is, what sprocket combo do you think I should go with? I'm running a 1742 right now, but I want to go lower. I want to go lower in the rear. Should I get a 40? Or should I get, say, a 39 or even a 38? I don't know. It's really hard to tell what I want to get. So, Oddball Performance told me, I asked him, you know, the difference between the Hawks and the TBR7, the Hawk wheel is actually bigger than the TBR7 by an inch. He said it factors in about 3 tooth difference on the rear. So a Hawk with a 1742 is like a TBR7, or no, a Hawk with a 1745. No, am I getting this right? Yeah. So I have a 1742 on a TBR7, so that's the same gearing as a Hawk with a 1745. It's about a 3 tooth difference. That you need to go smaller for the same gear ratio, which I found astonishing. And people run 42s on the Hawks and even 40s on the Hawks. So should I run a 40 or should I run a 39? I have no idea. Oh, there's my old high school gym teacher, Mr. Dudash. Alright, now it's time to go back to the Harley dealership. We finally get to run this bitch on the dyno. Alright, so they finally got the bike strapped onto the dyno. They had to make a couple adjustments to get the smaller tire to fit because this is normally for, say, Harleys. But can't go in the room because of regulations. But at least we can get a view of everything that's going on up here. We have a nice little window. Sorry it's a little glary, but nothing we can do about that. But now we'll finally get to see what these things make. Yeah.
Air-cooled bikes, is that air-cooled or liquid-cooled?
It's air-cooled, yeah.
It's air-cooled. They prefer cruising more around the 14.0, 14.1.
Okay.
It helps keep them a little cooler.
Yeah.
And for a carburetor, that's good.
Awesome. Everyone was hating on me. They're like, 175, that's too big. Like, what are you doing? You're crazy.
Yeah, because this part right here is primarily being controlled off your pilot jet and your needle.
Okay.
See, right there, you're leaning out a good bit.
Okay. Well, it's good to know that my cruising was good.
There you go. You smacked the rev limiter, so that's probably around 9.
So yeah, it looks like we got 15 horsepower and 13 foot-pounds of torque.
That's what he's going to bring out. So what you got going on is your initial wump is really hard to get rid of on a carburetor because that's your accelerator pump, your slide movement, and all of that.
Yeah.
Your second dip is what you can actually control. Okay, so good. We're getting consistent results. So his target line, the red dotted line in the AFR chart, is set at 13.1. That's what we like for power.
Yeah.
You know, anything below that's a little too rich, and lean is mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll typically get a little bit higher horsepower results if it's a little lean, but you're erring on the side of cooking the motor.
Yeah.
So therefore, your initial hit, like I said, that first one was goofy. The second one is a more clear indicator. So your initial hit is stupid lean.
Yeah.
So that stupid lean is does that carburetor have an accelerator pump on it?
It does not.
That's why. So basically you're immediately opening that blade up and that big rush of air comes in, and then you start picking up off your main jet. Once you start picking up off your main jet, which is happening up here, that's indicative of your main jet setting.
Okay.
So with that, if it were me personally, I would probably go up 1 on the main jet.
All right, guys, so you heard it from the technician, but it's actually lean, like main jet wise. And I went down to a 170 to try to, thinking I was too rich, but he said right around here is where the main jet really starts doing its thing. So as you can still see, it's a little lean. So we're gonna bump the 175 back in, which I had in it last week, and see what it does there. And what he's doing, I don't know if I caught the recording, but he's putting a load on it to simulate road driving. Come on, let's see some numbers. Alright, so this is run 3. Made a little less power, it looks like. Yeah, 14.75. 14.87 and 13 foot-pounds of torque. Alright, so I wanted to talk about the final jetting numbers and the final overall numbers on the bike. The numbers on the bike stayed really consistent. And I came here with the 38 Pilot. The needle dropped one clip from the middle, so it's one clip from the top clip. And obviously the 170 main. Now I was expecting it to be super rich, but the red line was our first run and actually made the most power at 14.97 horsepower, and there was another run at 15.02 horsepower at right around the same RPMs, 6,700 RPM, which is where these bikes make power. So that all makes sense, and the torque of that run was 13.34, so that's expected. Now these numbers are supposed to be, say, stock numbers. Now that's not engine horsepower, that's wheel horsepower. I don't know what the conversion would be, but I think that is pretty good for what it is. Obviously there's like the Cleveland Cycle Works, they had like a 24 horsepower, but that's with a crazy amount of work. This is just with the ported head, milled 30,000s, not 40,000s, the thick head gasket, without the cam. We will do the cam and come back and see what kind of numbers we get. But then these two runs here, the blue line and the green line, were both with the 175 main, because we were here, we were like seeing, oh, it was kind of lean. So I turned up the main jet to a 175, and that brought it down here, but it brought down the horsepower just a slight bit, almost, you could say almost like a third of a pretty much a third of a horsepower. And what I finally decided to do, after doing, I think we did a total of 6 runs. I didn't video all of them. I videoed most of them, but I actually went back in with a 172, and the 172 wasn't on the dyno. We just ran a 175 and a 170, and I figured I'm gonna get the best of both worlds and go in between there. But everything else was good. These lean spikes is because it doesn't have an accelerator pump, and that's expected out of this PE30 carburetor. So that's what you're gonna expect. With this carburetor, with the head, on a dyno, on an engine dyno. I think it's about 85 degrees today, 82 to 85 degrees. So not bad. All right, so we're leaving the shop. What do you guys think of those numbers? 15 wheel horsepower, 13 wheel torque. That's supposed to be the stock numbers, yet that's with all this work that I had to do to it. So that makes me kind of curious what kind of work we really need to, say, get to like a 16 or 17 horsepower range. And it also makes me wonder what it does stock. So I have a buddy of mine who has a pretty much stock Hawk. He just rejetted it and he took the baffle out of his exhaust, but other than that, it's stock. Should we get his bike on the dyno? I think we should. If we, okay, I'll say this now. I'm not a big YouTuber or anything, but if we can get 250 likes on this video in a month, then we'll put my friend's bike on the dyno. His pretty much stock Hawk. Now the other thing is, how much did it cost for the dyno? All right, well, somewhat expensive. It was $100. At the end of the day, it was like $100 and like 10 cents, including tax. So that is just because I wanted to know what these bikes make. No one else had dyno numbers out there, and I believe I'm the first one to do it. And I hope I encourage other people, hint hint, at Oddball Performance, so you guys get your bikes on the dyno, because say like Oddball's bike obviously has more work done than mine, probably be making more horsepower than mine, but I'm pretty happy with where mine's at. My temperatures are all really good. I think I can actually do oil changes every 800 to 1,000 miles, just because I'm not as high as compression as he is, and my bike doesn't run as, say, hot as a lot of other bikes. Alright guys, so I'm going to do another top speed run for you guys after the dyno, even though really my jetting did not change at all. I'm going to do another top speed run for you guys today on this nice flat section of ground that's up here, so we'll see what we can get. And we will tuck and we will pin this thing and see what she gets. We hit 70 and we got up there really quick. What? You know what? I think I know what made me able to hit that 70 miles an hour now. It was cleaning and lubing my chain, because my chain was atrocious. And when I mean atrocious, it was caked with stuff. Oh, also, I want to thank you guys for 100 subs. Like, I cannot believe I hit 100 subs this quick. I know it's not a lot, but I really appreciate it. And in the comments, someone asked me if I had an Instagram. I told them I'd make one at 100 subs. So, here is my Instagram. Go follow me. This will be the way I'll let you know when there's a video come out, when I'm processing stuff, taking pictures, when I post pictures of the bike and everything. So go ahead and give that a follow, and you can stay more up to date following that Instagram. With that, guys, I think I'll leave you here. Thank you for watching today's video. I love all you guys. Please subscribe, hit the like button. It really helped my channel grow, and I would really appreciate that. I want as many people to see this content as possible who are thinking about getting these bikes, so I can help everyone out. And that's really what I'm trying to do, is just, I really want to be able to help people, because I know not everyone's mechanically inclined. Not everyone is able to figure things out on their own. And I love helping you guys. So, as always, any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I will see you next time.